There's kind of a contrast between my life and living in a city versus living outside in somewhere completely remote, far away from everything.
Almost feels like it's not real, like you step back in time and it's like some kind of fairy tale.
In the previous episode, we enjoyed amazing experiences such as spending the night at the seal's house, getting up at 3 in the morning, feeding the pigs, tending to the oxen, collecting the firewood, and partaking in all kinds of local cultural activities. These were definitely some very memorable moments. Last time, we introduced to you the daily life of the Lolo ethnic group in Khoi Khon village during the harvesting season. In this episode, we'll take a closer look into the communal traits of the Lolo people through their activities, especially during crop season.
Personally, I'm from a small town and we're used to sharing with our neighbors. For example, if there's a funeral or a wedding, then we celebrate together and they help us with organizing and things. If you're live in a city, then sometimes you don't even know your neighbors. As we're here, the whole village knows each other.
This evening, Tướng makes wine to prepare for the family's rice harvesting tomorrow. He makes such a large batch of wine as many other families will come to help his family harvest the rice tomorrow. Wine will be served as a way to thank the families for their support. A new day approaches in Khoi Khon village. Today, every member of the family is busy preparing for the rice harvest. Tướng wife is making lunch in the fields for people in the village. According to the local custom, the family that harvests the rice on the day will prepare free meals for other people in the village when they come to help. The last step is to wrap cooked rice in banana leaves and to prepare all the necessary tools for the field work. The two of us also follow the couple to the field.
Their lands are really, there's a lot of hills and mountains, and sometimes their rice fields are far from their home, so they have to walk a long bit and it's really steep.
A lot of hard work just to get to the mountain.
Really beautiful view, but it's so hot right now.
I'm sweating. I don't know how you do it every day.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but
Những cái đám kia là đám lúa nương. Thì nên mình phải ra lên nương để gặt ấy.
Once they're there, then they still have to begin. Once we got to the rice fields, we were already sweating, and then the day just begins. Nào rồi. Chào các chị.
Then you have to go down on your knees and cut all the rice by hand.
Tướng teaches us how to harvest the rice.
So the curved knife will cut it without pulling the root, which happened to me a few times already. And I'm going really slow. But if you see the people around me, they're super fast. I don't know how they do it.
Okay, don't. This is not easy work at all.
It looks really easy, but it's pretty hard to do.
And all day long.
Take the whole route.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Not good.
Not okay, not okay.
Like this. We tried to do it as fast as they did, but it was really hard. Like they're so fast and they really know what to do. We were like they were really slow, and the sun was out, so it was really hot, really hard environment. But it was a good experience, definitely.
That's a lot of work too, because we're not used to sitting down so low, cutting and cutting like that.
Rice here is grown on high ground and mountainsides, which have been cultivated by the locals. Back when the locals still clung on to the nomadic way of life, they would plant the seeds at the beginning of the rainy season, after having cleared trees to set up the farm field. Rice here grows by absorbing rainwater, as there is little water in the soil beneath them. Nowadays, most of the ethnic groups here have adopted rice farming on terraced fields. There are many who have started to adopt wet rice plantation, instead of sticking to growing rice on the highlands as before. The locals in this village still grow both types of rice.
Alright, you want to make this a little bit more interesting?
Yes, let's do it.
Alright, so whoever can gather the most in 30 seconds,
You're counting?
I will win. Ready?
All right, you're on.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30. Stop.
I win!
No.
I win! I win!
No. I am the winner.
Oh, you won. Congratulations.
It's pretty amazing how labor intensive it is just to get rice, and we eat it every day. It makes us appreciate it a little bit more, how hard it is to get our bowl of rice.
Definitely.
While Rob and Elaine are still competing to see who's the winner, Tướng carries a spout over to thresh the rice. The two have to use a hoe to till the soil and figure out how to firmly position the spout. After harvesting the rice on the field, they use the spout to thresh the rice right alongside the field. Two bamboo screens are placed in order to keep the rice from spilling out during the process. Each person holds a bunch of ripe rice. They use the straw to tie up the bunch and then start the threshing.
We're going to tie this together, and then they're going to beat it off, and all the rice falls off, and they gather it in that bowl basket. You're making such a mess. Keep on going.
Rob, you're making me work more.
Get that rice out. I'm hungry.
I think I got it all.
You got it?
I got it.
Good.
No.
Our two friends, Rob and Elaine, threshed the rice with great excitement. They had never had such an experience as back home. Things like this are all done by machine. Because the knot she made with the straw was not tight enough, Elaine's rice bunch is loosened after a few fresh turns. People here make use of everything and try to recycle anything they can. For example, the straw and hay used during the rice harvesting and threshing. After they have done their job, is spread all over the ground to dry for reuse. For Rob and Elaine, this job is perhaps easier than threshing the rice.
So after they cut the rice and beat the rice off, they use it to fertilize the lands again. They throw it out on the lands, and they put it on fire later to fertilize the soil.
For Rob and Elaine, simple joy can be found in the warm smiles and hospitality of the good-natured people here. Happiness in this place is as simple as having a full storage of rice before the winter comes. Hay is used to cover a part of the hill so that the soil is kept fertile for the next crop, bringing a bountiful harvest for the locals.
So we just experienced ourselves how it was to cut the rice. It's a lot of hard work. We beat the rice off it. It's really fascinating to see how these people put in so much hard labor. We just did it for half an hour and we need a break, and they're just doing it whole day. We got up at 3 o'clock. They start making breakfast for the pigs first, then for the whole family. Then they go out to the land. They work their asses off. It's just really interesting, and I'm really glad and grateful that we can see it from so close up.
During the short break, everyone enjoys a couple of simple games.
Blow harder,
Thổi mạnh vào.
Very hard.
more force.
Rob shows off his creative trumpet skills.
You try it.
Okay.
No. Put your lips like there,
Okay.
and then blow really hard. No, further. It is.
The two guests have had an enjoyable break. After harvesting the rice, people transfer the rice into bags and bring them home for drying. Tưởng takes Rob and Elaine to another hill where people are harvesting wet rice. Along the mountainsides are terraced fields, one alongside another. The women harvest the rice with fast hands. Tưởng rice field harvesting is almost done. People are trying to finish the several lost terraces before today ends. Rob and Elaine pitch in to gather the harvested rice to prepare for plucking. People here use a wooden machine for rice plucking. In the countryside of deltas, farmers use modern machines such as harvesting threshing machine, cutting machine, or high-capacity plucking machine. However, in the mountainous region, people mainly depend on human labor or simple equipment. Rob and Elaine are excited to see the locally made plucking machine for the first time. They are thrilled to see the homemade machine operating and doing a great job. They also notice the difference between two ways of harvesting and threshing rice. Using this machine is much less exhausting than the traditional way.
We just did separate the grains from the rice.
Using a leg pedal, so it's all just natural
Manual labor.
human energy to power this. So they're separating the grains from the rice, and then it's pretty impressive how they are still, not reliant on electricity or gas or petrol or whatever. It's
all home built.
a lot of hard work.
With all materials they find in the nature around their house.
A
And
lot of hard work. So now we just cut water rice. Earlier we had cut rice from the mountains, so it's a little bit different how they grow and how they treat it.
so high up the mountains there is not a lot of water available. So they have a different kind of rice that is suited for that circumstance. As where the water rice, they grow in like separate crops, which makes it a lot easier to harvest as well. You can really grab them, as where the mountain rice is all spread out, and you kind of have to make your own little bush and then try to.
But it's amazing how fast these ladies cut these rice grains, because we were going very slow compared to them. And now we understand why they told us to wear long sleeves, because he didn't. And
I thought it would be too warm, but now I understand. I have a big rash here and a big beetle here.
it's all part of the process.
So definitely working out in the fields helped us appreciate where our food really comes from and how people actually use their physical labor to produce the food that we have.
As they live in a village, there's a lot of work to do, and especially during the harvest season, they have a lot of land, and for one family to harvest all the land, it's too much to do. So what they do, they plan it. So one day, one family harvests their lands, and the whole community helps them. The family that owns the land, they provide the food. So they bring food during the day, and they serve it on the land so that they can have a quick break, have some food, and then they continue on.
Rice and meat are wrapped in banana leaves and brought to the field. Each person is given a banana leaf to use as a bowl. This is another example of how locals take advantage of available natural materials to service their daily lives.
We have some assortment of vegetables, bamboo shoots, pork, and of course we have to have
Corn wine
corn wine.
that we made before.
For our two guests participating in the activities of the Lolo community in this mountainous region have enriched their journey. Carrying the rice back home is also an interesting job for Rob. Rob has to stay balanced with two loads of rice on his shoulders. The job would already be difficult for a foreigner like Rob if the road was even and flat, let alone the rough terrains here, which have pushed Rob to try even harder.
At least 20 kilos, and I took it from an elderly lady, and I was like really struggling. I think that they're really strong. I was sore, my shoulder still hurts now. So yeah, really big respect for them.
Finally, we managed to bring the rice home. We poured the rice in the middle of the house.
Now we store it here, we dry it out, and then later on we put it in bags so they can use it for either to eat themselves or take it to the market and sell it. The rice is spread out evenly now, and it's going to dry for about 2 days when the sun is out. When the sun is not out and the weather conditions are like this, cloudy, we have to manually
Quickly wrap up the rice and put it away for another day when it is actually sunny to dry it.
The rice will be rubbed and stored for use right after being dried. Collecting vegetables and bananas is the last chore of the day for our two guests. Through community activities like this, Rob and Elaine not only experience the daily life of the locals, but also know more about the sharing culture among the locals here. Everybody gathers for dinner. They are happy to have finished the job after a hard-working day.
Very strong, very strong.
At night, again, they serve a big dinner. I think it's a really nice gesture that they do things together and they eat together, even though it's very simple meals with simple ingredients. It's really fresh and like they say, after a hard day's work, and if you're hungry, then everything tastes well. And we were definitely hungry, and we were eating, and it tasted really good.
The next morning, the two guests followed Dung's mother and wife to the market to sell rice. In mountainous region, the market is often very far from home, so the walking distance is long. The market opens only once a week, but it's here where you can find all types of local specialties. Selling rice is not at all an easy job for Elaine and Rob because of the language barrier. However, the two friends try their best to learn Vietnamese to invite people to buy their goods.
Marty! Marty!
Good rice, Marty!
Rice and corn, Marty! Marty!
So we actually were able to sell some rice and some corn.
Got some money now?
So now we're going to go to the market and find 2 pigs to give to the family.
We wanted to buy a pig for the family in order to thank them for their hospitality and taking care of us during our stay and having this experience during the harvest season, which is the busiest season of the year for them. So with this pig, they use it for festivities like a wedding or sometimes a funeral.
So we got our new pig here. His name is Porky, or her name is Porky. So hopefully they'll enjoy this pig and they'll remember us.
There you go, your new home.
At first I thought they might be a little bit scared of strangers, foreigners coming into their homes, coming into their land, but they were very welcoming. At first, little kids were a little scared to wave hi to us, but as we stayed there a little bit longer, they got used to us and they started screaming at us and jumping at us. When I had my camera, all the little boys were super excited. They just go, oi, 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 oi. So it was nice that they slowly accepted us.
Also that I'm really thankful and grateful that we were able to experience this from so close by during the harvest season. See how they work, see really what a daily life is. Because usually if you're as a tourist, you often go in a tourist group and then it's really staged. People come together, they show a little bit, and then they move on. But here we really got to stay several days and then really got to live in the same house, get up at the same time they do, really do the work they do. So yeah, really impressed by what they do and with what they have.
Nha, bạn ăn quẹt nha. Còn may mắn rồi sao nha.